And the Honourable Dr Nick Smith.
Maggie Barry.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Well, we on this side of the House do support effective, responsible local government, and that's why this piece of legislation is so important. Now, the four well-beings, these have been really a tool which has enabled irresponsible and incompetent and inept local councils. It's given them the excuse that they need to overspend and to put ratepayers in a difficult position. The spectacularly failed former Mayor of North Shore knows a lot about that. As my colleague pointed out earlier, rates went up under his watch much faster than that of CPI. So, frankly, for the guy who has put the North Shore in such a bad position, he then congratulates the most profligate spenders in local government. So I think his credibility is suitably well defined. My constituents in the North Shore tell me repeatedly that they are completely sick of the rate rises and the difficulties that they are facing. They're on fixed incomes, they're hurting, and they need some relief. This legislation will give responsible local governments the ability to actually manage their resources and to manage what they have well. If they do choose to support events or activities or anything of that kind, then they are able to do so. But it must be financially sustainable. Focus and discipline. That's what the ratepayers of New Zealand require of their local council. They have the right to do that. But focus and discipline, unfortunately, are pretty well unknown territory for the opposition parties. Local government really needs to take a grip, to be refocused, and we are giving them the tools to do that. I must say it's been entertaining, really, listening to the contribution of the Greens. We had one the other day that called this piece of legislation evil. I think that was how it was pronounced. Evil it was. And this is from an individual who, at least of all the submissions and all of the hearings that we've had, never came once to a meeting. But yet she gets I don't know, she's someone over there, they're all, Denise somebody or other, I can't quite recall. Anyway, Ms. Evil has really not looked too carefully at things. Because what is evil about being clear about the role of councils in our communities? What is evil about being concerned about the escalating level of council rates and debt? What is evil about enabling government to intervene earlier with councils that have got it wrong so that we don't end up with the appalling situations like the poor ratepayers of Kaipara are currently being forced to endure? And what is evil about giving elected councils far more control over the salaries of their executives and requiring more open disclosure of staff salaries? They've got it out of kilter, they've got it all wrong, and this is a very important piece of legislation, Mr Speaker. And it's only the first of the reforms that we are going to bring in to allow local government to do what they do best and also to relieve ratepayers of the terrible burden that profligate spenders are giving to them. So for the third time, this is the third reading that I have taken, the third call I've taken on this reading on this bill. I would really like to commend this bill to the House. I believe in it. I believe in the John Key-led government and that we are heading to a brighter future, and the opposition parties have proved once and for all they're out of touch, they're not listening to the people, and I commend this bill to the House.
This is a split call, 5 minutes.
Yes,
Darian Fenton.
Mr Speaker, what